if you do like any kind of a puja, or whether it's, I mean, it can be anything. You could be sitting down to meditate. You could be doing a visualization practice. You could be doing a puja. You could be doing a tantric ritual. You could be doing any kind of sacred time, space thing, right? Now you can be doing that in such a way that it's dry, and you're doing it motivated by, I'm supposed to do this, I'm doing this. I'm being a good, you mention it, you say it, I'm being a good Buddhist, I'm being a good Catholic, I'm being a good Tantrika, I'm being a good whatever. Or I don't know what else to do, or whatever. There's nothing wrong with anything like that. Particularly, you're not harming any sentient beings, so there's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, there is a natural hierarchy to be drawn to more expanded states, and to be conscious that that's what you're being drawn to. I mean, some people go, well, you know, I just love jumping out of planes. I love hang gliding. That's fine. But if you actually become too old to do that, and that's what gave you fulfillment, now you're unhappy. But if you realize, what was I getting through that? Even when you're doing it, what am I getting? I have expansion. My attention goes out into the space, and I'm like, it's like, let me see if, well, I'm going to keep doing that. And on Thursdays, when I can't do the hang gliding, I'm going to sit at a high mountain. I'm going to go hike up the mountain. I'm going to just gaze out to the sky. And you go, whoa, there's a similarity there. It's not quite as good, because when I'm on the thing, my life is threatened and I'm really on the edge. I don't really feel like my life is threatened, but the expansion is what I'm after. And what happens when my life's threatened? I become very, very aware. Okay, let me try to become very, very aware while gazing from a mountain out into space, or from the top of a building, if that's all I've got. I live in a big city. I'm going to go, there's a place, there's a restaurant that, you know, looks right out. I can go there, and I'm just going to have my cup of coffee and look straight out. This, when you start to recognize what you're after is expansion, if you get good at recognizing that, then you can do it anywhere, actually. Then you go beyond the sense fields into the black in which the sense fields are arising. You know what I mean? You allow your attention beyond the visual field, above, below. You expand your awareness beyond it, and there's nothing but void, endless void in all directions. And you just go there, and even through what you see on the other side of what's arising. And it particularly works well, it helps that what Vic was talking about in terms of bhava samadhi, in other words, you're not paying attention to the distinctions in what's arising and what's appearances, visually or auditorily or feeling wise. So they begin to spread and connect. And then you can actually go beyond that frictionless sphere of, I say go beyond, I don't mean push it aside. I just mean feel beyond, or see beyond feeling, or aware beyond the sensations, aware beyond the sense fields. And then there's endless space, endless expansion. And you can do that anywhere. You are aware of the sky, of the void, and you have that. So when you have this understanding of natural hierarchy, more expanded states create a sense of stability and bliss, and any kind of association with some object, whether it's a subtle object or a gross object, is fine as a stepping stone, but not fine to cling to, right? So you see a certain image and you open up and you become expanded. If you cling to that image, it's not very good. It's fine to have the image there as a step, as a beginning. It's an icon then. I mean, the difference between an icon and an idol is an idol, you actually become enslaved to that image. An icon is that same image then just becomes a kind of transparent or translucent means to go beyond it. Apologies again with the word idol and all of that, because in India, they love that word idol for their own things, because the British said, you guys are worshiping idols. And they said, yes, thank you very much. We love our idols. So it's fine. And I love the word too. I'm just trying to make a point. There's a way something can be opaque, or it can be translucent or transparent. And transparency in terms of form is the way to go, so that nothing obstructs unlimited attention or the awareness without boundaries. So once you know that what you're after is expansion, wouldn't you naturally want, when you sit down to do your puja, or you sit down to meditate, or you sit down to do your tantric ritual, to be making sure it's infused with more and more expansion? Otherwise, why bother? Right? So when you're sitting down to do your puja, all that's important is that feeling of expansion. Whatever enhances that, do that more. I mean, literally what I'm telling you, Andrew, is if the goddess is in your ritual, beautiful, pay attention to that and expand it. Expand the feeling. Expand the feeling of bliss. Expand the feeling of feeling. And notice that when you're chanting, are you chanting in such a way that it vibrates so that there's more expansion or not? Or are you getting more in your head and you're getting contracted? So if you're getting more in your head, you just notice, where's the little feeling? Where can I locate a feeling of expansion? Or where in this field that I'm sitting in, do I feel some sense of presence and openness? Bring your attention there and open it. Where am I holding? Release holding. Release holding, and the sense of separateness disappears. The sense of separateness is holding. And when I mean holding in this context, I mean contraction.
Where does awareness of the suffering of others fit in this? You know, if you're in this expanded state, but you're aware, or maybe even doing it to heal others, perhaps, you know, there's this. It's just sort of that bodhisattva sense of responsibility for the suffering of all others that which I still admire, but I have a hard time understanding that within this context, you know.
Right. So this is the thing. While engaged with others, as others, compassion is what is the highest. While engaged where there are no others, the void is the highest compassion. Yeah. I remember early on, years and years ago, I was in Seattle and I went to a Tibetan monastery to just attend a puja or something. And I spoke with the Lama aside later and I said, you know, I don't understand. You know, you guys are doing, because at the beginning, I was very much into the void. And I said, why are you guys praying to all these deities? Like, why are you praying? And he said, I said, you just, other times you just saying teachings about how there's no deities. He said, when you meditate, meditate. When you pray, pray. He was well aware of both. I mean, because they were teaching like these things are, you know, and everything gets dissolved and there's no Buddhas and you're it. And even you are not really, right?
That's very clear.
Yeah. Good, Andrew?